So today I'm going to cook supper. Tipper's had a busy day and we've got a little bit of leftover cornbread from last night, and I've got some potatoes that we grew, a couple of big white sweet potatoes and a couple of just regular arse potatoes, and a jar of pickled corn that Papa made, or my dad, and we're going to have a little deer meat to go with it. So a little bit closer to getting ready to eat, I'll show you what we do with the deer meat. So these are some potatoes that we grew, some big white sweet potatoes and just a couple of regular arse potatoes. I just washed them and dried them off and put a little olive oil on them and a little bit of salt, and we'll put them in the oven for, I don't know, hour and a half on 400, and that generally is plenty to get them done. So this corn is pickled, and which means it's pickled with salt, and it's real salty, and I like to drain the liquid off of it and then run some cold water in it and let it sit, and that's what we call washing it, and it gets a little bit of that saltiness out of it to where it's not as salty. Some people may like it really super salty, and I kind of do in a way, that this batch of it was really salty, so I like to wash it once or maybe twice. I just run a little cold water in the jar and let it set for 10-15 minutes, and then drain it off and taste it as I go and get it where I like it, and then drain it off the last time, and then it's ready to eat. You can eat it out of the jar cold, or you can do what we call season it, which is put a little black pepper on it and cook it in some like olive oil or avocado oil or something like that, and warm it through real good, and it gives it just a little bit of a little bit different flavor by doing that, and I kind of like it, and we all kind of like it here. A lot of times we do just eat it straight out of the jar cold, but I kind of like it the other way too. When everything else you've got's hot, it's good to have this kind of hot too. So I'll just run the water in it and set it on the counter and let it sit there a little while, and then I'll come back in a few minutes and drain it off. So now what we've got here is a little bit of deer meat that has been run through a meat cuber, so it's cubed meat, and most of the time we will roll this in seasoned flour, but tonight I'm just gonna lay it out here on a cutting board and then just lightly season it and just put it in the pan and fry it. You can fry it in about anything you want: olive oil, avocado oil, regular cooking oil, which is what we did for years and years and years, but we don't use that stuff much anymore just because of the lack of health benefits from it. So what I've got here is just what's called some bone-sucking sauce steak seasoning, and I'm just going to lightly dust that and kind of rub it in on both sides, and then it'll be ready to cook.
I think I'll just take this whole thing.
You can have it. And what this meat comes from is just what we call the hams of the deer, or the hindquarter of the deer, and that's generally a really tough piece of meat on a deer. But when you run it through a cuber, it really tenderizes it. And we have a very old, real heavy duty cuber that came out of a supermarket many years ago. It's probably made in the 50s. So it's a real heavy duty unit, and it does a really good job of getting this meat cubed. And when we get ready to cook it, we'll just put whatever kind of oil we're going to use in the pan, get the pan good and hot, get the grease hot, and drop it in, and it doesn't take long. It's fairly thin cuts of meat, and they have, like I say, they've been cubed, so a couple, 2 or 3 minutes on each side, and it will be done. All right, now I'm going to cook the pickled beans just a little bit in a little bit of avocado oil. I'm going to do the deer meat in the same oil. I've already got the cornbread from yesterday in the oven warming up along with the potatoes. So once these pans get up good and warm, then we'll get going. Alright, we've got the pan for the pickled beans is about hot enough. I like to put a little bit of black pepper on it. While that's warming, we'll check to see if the deer meat pan is ready. And I think it is. So we'll start laying that in there. I think those are done enough. Don't want to get them overdone. I cooked this same thing last night, and I got the meat just a little too done. I'd rather have it a little pinkish to have it too well done, especially deer meat. So now what I'm going to do is wipe this pan out. Get my little oil drag out. Oil it a little. I just got this pan. This is an old pan. And it's been under the cabinet for several years, and I didn't realize it was there. I've been using it. So it's basically ready to go again. Alright, we'll get the other stuff out of the oven and we'll be ready to eat. Ready to eat?
I'm ready. This looks like a feast.
Maybe it'd be fit to eat, I don't know.
I know it's a feast because it's what we had last night, and it was really, really good last night. Matt cooked last night, and he's cooked again tonight. It's just very simple, but it just somehow all the flavors went really well together, don't you think? I love the white sweet potatoes. I already knew I did, but I'm so excited that we grew them. So I definitely want to grow more of those next year, don't you, Matt?
Yep.
Hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, they're pretty warm.
Just put a little bit of butter on mine. Not too much. Matt's cornbread was really, really good last night too.
It ain't near as good as your cornbread.
Oh, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Of course, Papa Tony's pickled beans. He makes pickled beans too, but pickled corn was really good.
Yeah, that stuff's very good.
And then just a thing of meat, piece of meat. You should have let me. I should have let you film me getting it like I usually let you. We should have done that, but you can see. Beautiful plate of food. Very simple, but beautiful. Pretty easy supper too. I guess the meat was the hardest thing to make.
Yeah, it wasn't hard. I mean, it's actually very easy.
Give me a little piece of the meat to try. I already
Get you a knife.
know. I already know because we ate it last night. It was really good.
Well, I seasoned it a little different tonight.
Oh, did
so
you? Okay.
It may not be as good. I don't know.
Pretty good. What'd you do different? Did I taste rosemary or something?
I just used a different seasoning and only one seasoning. I didn't put 2 or 3 different seasonings on it. Just one.
It was very good. Let's try some of Papa's corn.
That's good stuff, ain't it? I could eat that every day.
And it goes so well, what it did last night, I know it will today, with the sweetness of the sweet potato, with that up against that sourness of the corn. Very good. Well, I hope you enjoyed coming along with Matt to cook supper. Different than usual. We've done a few videos though where he cooks supper, cook things for me. Matt cooks. He's a good cook, and so I do most of the cooking. But he does cook every once in a while, and it's always extra nice when he does. It's always extra good.
I'm not as good as the master here.
No,
At all.
you're a mighty fine cook, and now I've got a mighty fine supper to eat. I hope that you enjoyed coming along with Matt, and we're always glad when you stop by to help us celebrate Appalachia.